Curious on some specific tips on how to play Bloody Queen? I'm here to help. My name's Music Man, and I'm here to show you the top 5 tips I would give to a hunter of any tier to improve their Bloody Queen gameplay. Let's get into it. Step 1. Don't waste your mirrors. Mirror placement is key. This is indisputably the most important tip for any Bloody Queen right now, especially after the nerfs that have been recently added in the game. With their decreased movement speed and decreased mirror duration, the game has forced Bloody Queens to be more accurate with their mirrors. How do you do that, you ask? Well, I'm about to show you. First of all, it's very useful to memorize kiting routes. When you see a survivor head towards a predictable location, you can use your mirror to predict where they're most likely intending to go and block off that area. That is to say, the mirror can be really useful for countering transitional kiting of this manner. But once the survivor begins tight kiting, things can get a little bit more tricky. Generally speaking, you want to avoid placing your mirror in a manner that the survivor can easily hide behind the aqua mirror. See, none of this stuff. I'm not able to hit the survivor, but instead you want to place your mirror on your side of the obstacles to avoid any annoying collision with the environment that could cost you some precious time switching location with your mirror. Lastly, as far as mirror placement goes, I would recommend that all Bloody Queens memorize all of the broken mirror switch locations in the maps you intend to use her on. I don't have time to talk about all of them now, but I'll leave a link in the description below of a composite list of all the broken mirror switches that I have discovered in the game so far. Step 2. Stalling the last cipher can save the game. This step, just like step 1, is of utmost importance to a Bloody Queen main. Especially given the strong cipher rush capabilities that survivors are given, delaying the last 1 or 2 ciphers remaining can turn a loss into a draw, or a draw into a win. Let me show you how. When the game starts, the goal is obviously to get the first down and to try to get your first elimination as quickly as possible as a Bloody Queen. She is a chase-based hunter, and as such, relies on being able to get a down as quickly and efficiently as possible. However, once the cipher count reaches 1 or 2 ciphers remaining, you want to immediately go from intense chase mode to disrupting mode, which basically means that you want to keep all survivors off the ciphers at all costs to avoid an annoying cipher pop that will activate borrow time. The trait all the way to the right of the survivor persona build that allows survivors to get back up after getting down by the hunter, receiving a speed boost in the process. This ability can turn the tide of a whole game, and as a hunter, we don't like that, so we want to avoid that at all costs. So, once the cipher count reads 1 or 2 ciphers remaining, immediately pan your camera around the map to see where ciphers are being decoded. You are able to detect this because ciphers that are being decoded that have passed around 30% will start shaking when they're being decoded. This can definitely be taken advantage of by the hunter, and you can use your mirror as a mobility tool to disrupt the final ciphers. I, of course, recommend carrying trump cards so that you can use your trump card to switch to abnormal once the final cipher is almost primed. And you can see I'm applying this step throughout this gameplay footage that I'm showing you. I'm sacrificing opportunities to chase for opportunities to disrupt. Step 3. Pick a camping strategy. Patrol or disrupt. Okay, so you get your first down nice and fast. Great. What do you do from here? The way I see it, you have 2 options, patrol or disrupt. Either of these strategies are perfectly viable, and I'm going to explain how to do both. First of all, let's start with the patrolling strategy. Good traits in the persona build for this strategy would be either Berserker or Wanted Order. Once you get your first down, you should look around to try to figure out where the rescue is most likely coming from. You can tell this once again by looking for wiggling ciphers. If you see a cipher start to wiggle and then stop, you should immediately move in that direction. You may have just found where the rescue is coming from. And of course, if you had Wanted Order, you might just find the rescuer anyways without all of that extra thinking. If you are able to find the survivor extra early, try to get a hit way in advance, and then place your mirror back towards the chair. If you're able to catch the survivor soon enough, as long as it's not a rescue class character, you should be able to stuff the rescue this way. You can also flip the order between when you hit with the mirror and hit with your main body. So you see in this specific gameplay, I hit with my mirror nice and early, the forward makes his way to me, and I'm able to follow up with a nice and easy attack. Now I'll talk about the other strategy during camping, which is disruption. If you find that first strategy isn't really your thing, you can always use your mirror to disrupt. You can place your mirror across the map to try to get lucky hits on other survivors that are decoding. If you're lucky, you might even get a terror shock this way. Using this strategy, your general goal is to dish out as much damage as you can while luring survivors away from the ciphers to slow down the cipher rush. Whatever you do, don't just face camp. This will allow a free rescue from almost any character, and you'll still get Cipher Rush. Just try to stick with one of these strategies, and you should have relatively consistent camping. Step 4. Know your spawn points for a strong early game. This one is pretty much self-explanatory. If you know your early spawn points, you're able to start your first chase as quickly as possible, which buys you more time to chase instead of getting rotated around the whole map hunting for the first survivor to chase. In addition to this reason, knowing spawn points allows you to find another survivor significantly faster if you come across a survivor that is not an ideal first target. Step 5. Be aware of the strengths/weaknesses of the mirror and use them to your advantage. There are a few little things to take note about the Aqua Mirror before you find out the hard way like I did in rank. You need to be careful around stun characters as Bloody Queen. Anybody might be like, well, Music Man, the mirror isn't infected by stuns. Why should I worry about stun characters? Well, just as a little side note, for the small duration that the Bloody Queen places her Aqua Mirror, a stun will cancel the mirror entirely and force it into cooldown. 99% of the time this won't be an issue, but it's still something worth noting. Same thing for the duration that it takes for you to switch with your mirror image. This will not come into play very often, but on occasion, a survivor will pull a cheeky move on you like that, and in some cases, it can even cost you the game. Anyways, that's just a little something to take note of. That being said, those are really the only two weaknesses of the mirrors. It is a devastating tool to counter transitional kiting, and it can double up as the best mobility tool in the game, second to Wu Chang's Umbrella. There you have it. You have all the tools required to become a top-tier Bloody Queen, of course with a little practice. For all who are interested, here is my build that I've been using for Bloody Queen. I carry the Wanted Order for my camping, I carry Detention, I carry Trump Card, Impact to slow down survivors' healing, of course Tinnitus, and then I carry Claustrophobia, and then Desperate Flight for the anti-stun. So as far as traits go, I'm personally prefer running Patroller. It's shorter than Blinked, and it's more versatile, being that it can assist with both chase and camping. Of course, many Bloody Queen mains have been perfectly successful running Blink. That's all good. And on occasion, with a Cipher Rush team comp on a smaller map, I sometimes like to run Peeper. If you found this guide to be helpful, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. And let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions or comments, and I'll see you next time.